Drop Podcast.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Football Drop Podcast.
Giorno, mes amis.
Hello, how are you?
Language. Yeah, good mate. How are you?
Yeah, I don't know what you just said. It was just completely foreign to me.
Yeah, I spoke two different languages then because I don't know what the first one is. Buongiorno, is that Italian?
Buongiorno, yeah, Italian, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. And then mon ami is French, so there we go. Italian, French, Englishman here for the next hour to talk shit about football and Yorkshire puddings.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Go on, hit me up with the Yorkshire puddingness.
Laura randomly came up with she had Chinese on Saturday with her friend, and when I came back, she was like,
"What is your go-to Chinese order?"
Amazing, aren't they? But prawn crackers. See, I don't have a go-to order. Now you're going to judge me on this because I like various Chinese bits, but I can't have just one dish.
Yeah,
I've got to have loads of picky bits of dishes, and I like
mate,
loads
of course.
So I can't choose one thing. I need to have like 5 or 6 of us there, so we all order loads of different bits. So you can have a bit of everything. So I can't tell you what my order is because I don't have an order.
But you've got loads of different things. So what is the order?
Prawn toast, obviously. Spare ribs with some sort of sauce. Normally barbecue sauce will be nice. Crispy wontons because they're banging. Salt and pepper chili squid rings because they're incredible. Then you need to have some sort of mushroom rice or egg fried rice. Don't pull that face when I said squid rings. They're banging, mate. It's like calamari. Don't judge. And then obviously chicken balls. You've always got to have chicken balls, no matter what. Satay chicken. You've always got to have some satay. Normally I'll have beef with mushroom. I do like a beef with mushroom. And then some sort of chicken dish of some kind. That's what I mean. You've got to have a bit of everything, don't you?
Absolutely insane, isn't it? How someone so beautiful can just be so wrong.
I can't hear you. You've just cut out completely.
I said it's amazing how somebody so beautiful can be so wrong.
I'll tell Laura you said that. Basically her order as well.
You've not got any chow mein, for one. Where's your chow mein?
Well, yeah, you need chow mein. Chicken chow mein. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Right, okay, fine.
Chicken chow mein.
Crispy chili beef?
Yes. Crispy chili beef, yeah. We had that last week, actually. No, week before last.
And then you've got, like, I agree with the chicken satay. I agree with the chicken balls, sweet and sour. Capital spare ribs rather than the barbecue one or whatever you said. Yeah, a few differences, I think, for me. A few differences, but yeah. No, fair play. To be honest, that's quite exotic for you because you're not really into food that much like that, are you? It's like pizza, burger. That's about it for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm a simple man, Will. I'm a simple man with simple tastes. Doesn't take much.
I'll tell Laura you said that.
To entertain me. I mean, look, you want to take it that way, be my guest. You want to get
That's
me
what
in
she
shit,
said.
start, be my guest. Yeah. Should we go straight into the news? Because there's quite a few topical things.
Hang on, you didn't finish what you were saying. You started to talk about Yorkshire puddings.
What was I saying?
You started talking about Yorkshire puddings. We digressed onto Chinese and the Chinese order, and now you're trying to go into football. Don't leave us like this, Ben. It's too cliffhangery for.
Yeah, sorry. So Laura then randomly went, do you know what? Prawn crackers are like Yorkshire puddings on a roast dinner. What? They're like the Yorkshire pudding of the Chinese world. What on earth are you talking about? She's like, you just always need them there. They're a key part of it. You always need prawn crackers with your Chinese.
I could go.
I do get it. I mean, I don't agree that they're as good as a Yorkshire because Yorkshires are top tier.
100%. And I can eat a Chinese without like a prawn cracker, but I mean, this is how important it is.
What?
Yeah, I could eat a Chinese without a prawn cracker easily. No. But with a roast dinner, so we had a roast dinner yesterday, and Jack had chicken, and it didn't come with the Yorkshire pudding. The kid was so confused. He literally was like, "Where's my Yorkshire pudding?" I had to give him half of mine. That's how like insistent he was that he had a Yorkshire pudding. But it's like the staple of a roast dinner. Prawn cracker is just something that you get free that you don't need to eat, but you still smash the bag.
Yeah, but they're banging, They're so tasty because they're nothing. It's just literally grease, oil, and it's amazing. but you always
Yeah.
need them. They're a nice warm up. Like when you go out for a Chinese, you have them as a warm up. You always smash them in seconds.
They're
You
at the
always
end
sort
for
of go,
me.
oh, I want some more. You're sort of looking around. Mate, you're mad. Remind me never to go for a Chinese with you. That's insane.
I'd love to go for a Chinese with. I'd love to do anything with you at the moment. I feel like that Maisie's become your number one now, and I'm not happy about it. It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? She definitely has.
Yeah.
It's weird that a child that cannot talk to me or really communicate is better than someone who communicates by taking the piss out of me about my Chinese order.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe you prioritise that as well.
Structure.
It's mental.
It's insane, mate. It's insane. But no, how you doing though? How is everything before we move on to football?
Yeah, not bad, mate. We played a full pitched game of football on Friday night, didn't we?
We did, and it was a proper Will versus Ben, wasn't it?
It was. And I did not take any advantage of that at all.
No, you didn't. You nearly had a moment though, which was an inch or so, if that, away from humiliating me.
Yeah, I think it was off. It was called as offside, so I didn't. I was like, "Oh, this is annoying." I don't know if it was offside. I just heard offside shouts. I was like, "Oh, this is annoying." So I just hit it, but without any. I just hit it. I didn't really have any aim on it. Not that I ever really do.
I was talking about my throw, my rollout.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, you rolled the ball out, and I put my foot in the way, and I just clipped it. That was so close. And there was one where. Go on. No, go on.
So my heart was like there. I was like, oh my god, that would have been embarrassing. 'Cause it had to be you of all people that could have done it, and I would never have heard the end of it, knowing full well that we had the podcast. I thought, no chance, no way.
I was furious. I thought that'd be brilliant. But there was one where I think you even commented after where you could see the whites of my eyes like opening up, like, yes, I've got an opportunity here. And then the defender, who was like the quickest person in the whole world, just came out of nowhere and got it. And I was like, it was so frustrating.
Yeah.
But there was not many chances against your team. You were definitely the better team.
100%. I think it was 9-2 to us in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which is insane. But I'll tell you what, I do have a newfound respect for goalkeepers. The goals are fucking huge.
Yeah.
It was insane. I mean, the warm-up, I did save a fair few, but not loads.
How did the warm-up go for you, my friend?
It went well until I think it was Gav had a shot, and I pushed it around the post, and it was a really good save as well, and I was really proud of myself. But I've really hurt my thumb, and it's now hurt
How is it?
all my hand down here. It's really
bruised?
sore, Will. I can move it in. Look, I can move it in. But I can't really stretch it out after that. It doesn't really go.
You're going to goal tonight, though, still, yeah?
Of course, I'm going to take some painkillers and just hope for the best.
Is it your left hand?
Really? Yeah, so it's not so bad. Woo! Yeah, it could have been disastrous otherwise, but no, it definitely is painful. But honestly, the size of the goals are ridiculous.
Mate.
I remember obviously we first got there, I just stood in the middle thinking, how the fuck am I going to make any saves in this goal? And it's so hard to read a ball from further out as well.
Especially when you were down the bottom end without the spotlight.
Yeah, no spotlight, pitch black, and all I could see is your stupid whites of your eyes going, yeah, I'm going to get that. Beaming down your right, my left. It was good fun, but it was a bit cold for me, I must admit, by the end, because I didn't have a lot to do in the game.
Nah, it was a hard game on the pitch. I played the full 90, and I felt like I didn't stop running, and I felt like I hadn't stopped running on Saturday. We was walking around Canterbury Christmas shopping, and everything that Selge wanted was like upstairs, and I'm like, oh.
No, to be fair to you, you put in a shift and a half on Friday.
I was running.
Every time I watched you, were tracking back, you were forward, you were always making that run. So absolute credit to you.
Trying. Didn't work, but trying.
No. That's all you can do, though.
And then today, the Capitan, Sir Gav, has gone, Will, you just go long, mate. Just stay up top, and we'll do the rest of the back here. You just go up there. Don't get in the way. We'll hoof the ball up to you. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. It's fine.
No, that's not the reasons behind it. It's because last week we did not have an outlet past midfield at all because everyone kept dropping in and we didn't have that extra person to go to bring their defenders back. So the idea is for you to play that sort of number 10/9. So you're up there, you're further forward than everyone else. So I can do a long ball, bang, you can chest it, bang, bicycle kick, goal.
I am famous for my bicycle kicks. Yeah.
There we go. And hopefully, if you're playing up top, we can use you as a bit of a target man and finally use your massive shoulders and your huge frame to actually hold someone off the ball for a change. Use your strength instead of going, oh, I got pushed off. Oh, it hurts. Because you're so strong. Fucking use it. So this is what we've got to do tonight.
Okay.
Saying all this, I'm going to have the worst game of my life.
I am really looking forward to next Monday.
Shit ton. Yeah, I'm not after this thumb. I don't know how it's going to be. Do
we move on to the football news?
Yeah, where do we start?
Let's start with Ruud Van Nistelrooy. Let's start with Ruud. Because I feel like I've got more to say on this. So he's been appointed as Leicester City's manager.
Yes,
so 12 games ago, Leicester, like in the summer, Leicester made the decision to appoint Steve Cooper as manager, right?
Yes, they did, yeah. I remember.
And then after 12 games, they've decided that the football that he's known for playing, they don't want him to play that style of football, so they've sacked him. So they then decide to appoint Ruud Van Nistelrooy, who had a year at PSV a couple of years ago, and then a couple of games in charge of Man United. Granted, he did play Leicester twice and he did beat them twice with a poor Man United team, but still, they decided to appoint him
5-2 and 3-0.
Even he came out and said, I'm really surprised by all the interest after a couple of games at Man United.
Yeah, he did. And he said, well, at PSV, I won the cup and I won this. And then for PSV juniors, I won the league as well. But I didn't get this much interest.
It's absolutely insane that he's manager of Leicester. Like, he's a Premier League manager, Ben.
He is on the same level as the legend Sean Dyche.
And we'll get onto him a little bit later on in the show. But can you believe it? Like, can you actually believe it?
It is mad. It is mad. But he's obviously got some credentials because he has got a background, and a lot of this is probably the pull of the player, from his playing history, a lot more than anything else. But, the next hiring decision we'll come on to as well links in well because there's certain people that are living off their playing rep rather than their managerial rep. Now, sometimes it works out pretty well. Like Arteta, for example, I think you can't argue he's done a very good job.
I mean, Pep, he played at a very good level.
Manager. Pep played at a very good level. And then, to be fair, he coached, the Barcelona B and the academy and stuff like that first. But he came on and look at him. So, coming straight out, Xabi Alonso again had a very good first season as manager and he's done well. So it could work out well. But, and credit to Ruud Van Nistelrooy and good luck to him. Hopefully he doesn't do well against Arsenal, but good luck to him for the season. But then you get other managers that have been fantastic
hang on.
players.
2 secs. So I know where you're going to go with this, but the managers that you've spoken about were all midfielders. Midfielders seem to do really, really well as managers, former midfielders. Now, I heard something earlier that strikers don't tend to make the best managers. So who is a striker that has been an absolute great, like Pep, like Klopp, like Wenger, like Ferguson, strikers? Not many, which is really interesting when you think that midfielders tend to make the best managers, because obviously they're in the middle of the pitch. They see it all. They know what's going on around them. They know how to work it. They know what to do. Defenders, not so much, but better. And then goalkeepers very rarely, because they play a very different game, as you found out. So it's interesting. I don't know what's going to happen with Ruud. But yeah, let's move on to the point you was about to make. I apologise for him.
No, that's a really interesting thing, actually. I'm just trying to think of like a good coach. Is very difficult.
Mark Hughes was a good coach.
You could argue He was when he was at City, and he got loads of money, and he did all right. I don't think he was really that good of a coach, but yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. What was I saying? Yeah, so linking on to, players turning into managers, living off their players' reputation. Frank Lampard has got another job. He's now
Yeah.
Coventry's manager after a
Go on.
very successful period for Mark Robbins, I think, wasn't it? He's replaced.
Yeah, very successful.
How has Frank got this?
So it's a very good question that you pose, Ben, but I think it's probably because his managerial credentials aren't as bad as you probably think.
Okay, enlighten me.
Well, he did well at Derby.
Not really.
Why not really?
Well, he didn't get them that high up in the league. He didn't
With
sign
what
many
they had,
players.
but with the financial situation that they were in and the team that they had, I felt he did okay.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh. He did a really good job initially at Chelsea.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
With what they had and the circumstances. So maybe he's a fixer-upper manager. He's not a manager going to lead you to success and glory, but maybe he's that manager that just stabilises you for 18 months, possibly.
But you're also judging him. So, as we go through life, and I can't believe I'm sticking up for Frank Lampard here because I do tend to agree with what you've said, but I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. As you go through life, you make mistakes, you learn from them, and you grow. The theory being, Frank Lampard has started off well, did okay at Derby County, went to Chelsea, did all right there to start off with. Everton, back to Chelsea.
I forgot he was at Everton. Oh my God. And he did nothing there.
Oh, he didn't do very well there. He signed Dele Alli for a lot of money. So I think he's learned a lot. And that could, I'm not going to make any promises to you Coventry City fans because I know there are a lot of you out there listening right now. But I don't think he's going to be fantastic, but he might have learned and he might have grown and he might do a brilliant, outstanding job.
You never know. But I know where I would put my money. But let's see. But best of luck to Mr. Frank Lampard. I wish you all the best.
Certainly.
For the rest of the season.
I quite like Coventry as a team. I used to like them.
Another manager. Go on.
You're going to say?
I was talking about Wayne Rooney because sometimes in life you have to just realise that career is not for you.
Yeah. He reckons that the last week has been the toughest of his managerial career.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of tough weeks.
He's had a lot of tough weeks. Didn't they get pumped 6-0 by your favourite team in the world, Norwich?
6-1. Let's not give him too much credit.
Sorry. And then he came out and said, if I fielded my under-18s, they wouldn't have lost that.
Yeah. And then they lost 4-0 to Bristol City.
Mate, you've got to give up.
They're 2 points above the relegation zone. What happens to him now?
He's just got to give up. Go and be a pundit. Go and be an assistant coach. You're not a head coach. You're not a manager.
Let me pose you this question for you to ponder, Ben.
Riddle me that.
Where should Plymouth Argyle be in that league?
Mid-table.
Do you reckon mid-table?
Yeah, mid-table. After the success they've had over the last couple of years, mid-table.
What success have Plymouth Argyle had?
Well, they've been promoted up into the Championship recently, so
it's
quite successful.
Are they about where they should be, though?
No, I think they should be higher. I would say mid-table.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying conceding 10 goals. If you're after a decent team, 10 goals in 2 games to score, not many can hit that dizzying heights. But I mean, to concede 10 goals,
yeah, it's pretty bad.
That is a very different thing, isn't it? I honestly don't know what to make of it. I mean, a 6-1 thrashing at Norwich and then to lose 4-0 at Bristol City, you kind of think, yeah, your time's up, mate.
Yeah, you really do. You really do. I think the problem with some of the sort of ex-players that have been very successful is they're used to that elite level of performance and they can't adjust to, and this is no disrespect to teams like Plymouth or Coventry, of course, but it's a different level to playing in the Champions League every week and playing in the Premier every week. So it's almost as though the coaches can't adapt to people who are less able and then find out a different tactic, a different style of play that suits those players. Just have that work ethic Just run. Work harder than the other team. And if you lose, you lose. But you work harder and you fight for every ball and you're in with a chance then.
Yeah.
And they're just obviously not doing that, are they?
I wonder if he just can't get the changing room to like buy into what he's saying. I just don't know what to say that it is, but because I mean he was a great player. Again, he's a striker, great player. Yeah, I don't think it's for him.
No, I don't. I don't at all. Maybe get into punditry. Maybe if you're free, Wayne, in the next couple of months or so, which I have a sneaky suspicion you might be, get in touch. We'll have another co-host. We don't mind.
Mate, do you know what? How weird is this, right? So I was watching Match of the Day yesterday morning in bed, and Gary O'Neill was there talking. So just like, who's that? I was like, oh, Gary O'Neill. He was like, she said, really? I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, I recognise him. I was like, well, he is from around these parts. She was like, I wonder if he's got a sister called Carly, right? I was like, I don't know. She went to school with Gary O'Neill.
Shut up.
Genuinely, he went to the same school as her.
Mate, get her to reconnect.
I did say this, obviously, and she went, no, he was like 2-3 years above me, and his sister was a year below. I was like, oh, okay. I feel like it's a Leroy Lita thing.
I was literally about to say, it's like Will's best mate's a Leroy fucking Lita, isn't he? Fucking hell.
Yeah, mental is that.
All right, well, Selch, if you're listening to this far, which you're probably not, but if you are, just add him on Facebook or something. I'm sure you'll have a mutual connection.
She did try.
Get in touch. Just keep going. Keep trying, please. That's what we need.
Mental is that.
That is mental. Should we move on to weekend's football? Because we've had a couple of mental results.
Let's do it. It was a mental weekend. Absolutely bloody mental. Can I just ask you, let's get your catchphrase in early. Come on.
Yeah, watch it.
There we go. Thank you.
I haven't seen it.
It's like Arsene Wenger.
I did not see it. Look, I want to talk about first Gary O'Neill and Wolves. What were they doing against Bournemouth? They were really good and really, really poor.
I think for me, it goes back to also the Southampton game, although there was some highly contentious stuff happening in the Southampton game. But I feel that was on the Friday night, right?
It was, yeah.
So I feel, though, that playing out from the back is absolutely insane if you haven't got the skill to do it. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, if you watch the Liverpool game, even if you have got the skill to do it, you don't always need to do it. You can loft that ball right into Salah, and he's very good.
Yeah,
right?
He will run to that right corner and he'll get the ball.
He will get the ball, and Akanji will be too far away from him, and he will put the ball in, and there will be a goal, right?
Yes.
I appreciate Wolves probably haven't got a Mo Salah in their team, but Cunha is probably quite close.
That's a bold statement, but okay.
Yeah, I think as that came out of my mouth, I realised what I said. But let's just bypass that as something contentious that you say we like on TalkSport. Yeah, no, Cunha's as good as Mo Salah. Those sorts of things. No, I'm joking, by the way.
Darren Bent's going to be talking about this on Wednesday when he is on Tuesday.
Yeah. So, yeah, they just shouldn't play out from the back. I mean, Jose Sarr had a nightmare, didn't he?
He had a nightmare, but that penalty that he gave away, he had to do that challenge because that was a shocking back pass. I can't remember who he took out, but their left back did a back pass to him. Was it the second?
The second one.
Yeah.
The first one was where he scraped his
back. That's it. Yeah. So it was the second one where he just he took him out and then was like, Joe, what? I'm going to pretend I'm knocked out cold.
Yeah.
To even stayed there with his hand up or something like that, wasn't it? All weird. I was like, what are you doing? Just like, oh, I've hurt myself. And then all of a sudden you just see the eye go.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. But he had to do that challenge because it was a shitty back pass from their left back.
It was because, again, watching that game, Serge said, why does he keep doing that? And I was like, it's like, shouldn't he get booked? And I was like, it's more of a coming together. It's not. He's not intentionally fouling. Like the first one again, where he scraped down Evan Nelson's back of his leg. He was obviously going to kick the ball.
Yeah.
But it is a penalty. I think it was a penalty. But yeah, I mean, a lot of history made there where I think Evan Nilsson got all 3 penalties. And then I was going to say Patrick Kluivert. It's not Patrick Kluivert. It's his son. Yeah, that's what Allura calls you, funnily enough. Yeah, he managed to convert all three.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah.
That's all right.
So yeah, he's broke a record there, which is pretty cool of him. And you've just broke up a friendship. So congratulations there, Will.
I am really pleased with that one.
I could tell. That's why I thought I'm not going to react to it. I'm not going to rise to it. But it's a great result for Bournemouth, despite 3 penalties. It's a bit more flattering. No, that Strand Larson for Wolves. He seems like a good player. That goal was fucking brilliant. And the power he got from close range was insane.
Yeah. Not goal of the week.
Not goal of the week, no. No, absolutely not. But that was a really entertaining game. Sometimes you get those sort of games you just don't know what you're really going to get. You can imagine it play out as a ball draw or something like that and think, oh, yeah, okay. But that was entertaining.
Before we move on to the next one, because I know there's some entertaining ones, I just want to get your opinion on that Southampton, that last-minute decision to roll that goal out. I don't get
it.
Nah.
He was, right, was it Adam Armstrong that they said was interfering, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
He did interfere. He didn't make a play for the ball. If you watch his leg as well, he's tried to move his leg out the way of the flight of the ball because he knows whoever it was. I think it was Adam Armstrong that scored. I can't remember who it was that got in the way, but whoever it was that was offside didn't interfere with play. It's a bullshit call.
Yeah. I felt really sorry for Southampton. Who's that? What's that manager called?
Russell Martin.
Russell Martin. Oh, it's Ruben. Yeah. Ruben Amorim.
Yeah. He's for
Russell Martin. Yeah, no, Russell Martin. I knew it began with R, and then I'm like, is it Ruben? Russell Martin, yeah. He even come out and said, like, I felt he was really honest with it. If the ball had gone in front of him and he'd attempted to play it, I could kind of understand. But it didn't. It was always going up behind him. It was always going to, was it Archer? I can't remember.
It Cameron Archer. It was his goal, wasn't it? Sorry, yes. Yeah. Adam Armstrong was in the way.
And I just felt that was such a shit decision. And I felt so sorry for Southampton because that one goal is the difference between possibly getting a run on to avoid relegation and going down. I think that's just fucking out of order, and they deserve an apology from, I would say, Tim Howard. What is the matter with me? Howard Webb.
I mean, Tim Howard can apologise. I don't think it would change much. It's probably worth as much as Howard Webb apologising, to be fair.
Yeah, you've got a very good point.
Yeah, I do feel for them. I think it was a really harsh decision. And yeah, you are right. I think in terms of what that could have a detrimental effect. But it's the fact that it took four and a half minutes to make that decision. It's not clear and obvious, is it? So you stick with the on-field decision. If they rule it as offside, You'll be pissed off, but it's the rest decision then. That's fine. You can deal with that.
My guy. Yeah, you're right.
4.5 minutes is bollocks.
I agree. So, did you watch the Brentford? Did you see the Brentford one? Brentford-Leicester?
No. I thought we'll talk about the games that we decided on our notes before recording. I thought that would make sense.
Was that not on there? Sorry, my phone died.
No.
My phone's died, sorry. Good game, that. Special shout-out for Sharda to score his hat-trick, which was fantastic. So, yeah, well done. We won't go into detail on that one then. Did you watch the Arsenal game?
I did watch none of the Arsenal game because I was sadly at Lewis's. Well, actually, I lie. I watched the second half, or most of the second half, where we had 0 goals. But the first half was a fucking goal fest that I missed. Mate, we blew West Ham away.
Yeah, it was interesting, wasn't it? Because the first goal for that from the corner, it was like Gabriel was like, right, Saka, come here. You do this. Right, boys, we're all going to do this. Just let me get the ball. I'll run around you. You run in. You crowd everyone in. I'll run around you. I'll smash it in. Bosh, exactly what happened.
Yeah. And do you know what was weird? It wasn't the normal kind of play because he wasn't leaping above everyone. He ducked down to get that.
Yeah, because
he had so much space.
Because Arsenal had crowded out the whole of the West Ham defence. It was just him in the box on his own, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was insane. That's so intelligent. Such intelligent play.
And it helps that Saka delivers an almost perfect corner 80-90% of the time now.
It's unreal. Just unreal. And his relationship with Ødegaard, like I've heard plenty of, has been incredible. And to give Ødegaard the ball so he can score, and then Saka was like, okay, yeah, another pen, I'll take, let me take this one. And but like buried it, and it was great. I thought the Havertz goal was good as well. I thought was it Kilman couldn't quite
Brilliant
reach it.
finish. Yeah,
Yeah,
fantastic finish. You could just, I mean, Trossard's finish as well on that back post. What a ball in to get
what
to
ball
it as
in?
well.
Yeah,
But you have to be in there to do it.
yeah,
You have to be in there to get that goal, and it's that positioning and that movement that's just been brilliant.
yeah, and lovely.
Paqueta's, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, lovely goal from Wan-Bissaka. Great little ball in from Soler.
Yeah,
And then Emerson. That was the free kick, wasn't it?
it's
If I
Paqueta,
remember
wasn't
right.
it? Not Emerson.
Emerson scored for West Ham.
Was it? Oh, I thought it was Paqueta.
Yeah. No, it was Emerson.
Oh, mate, that free kick was insane.
Good, wasn't it? Goal of the week?
It's a strong contender.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm struggling to think of any other standouts, really.
Oh, I've got the winner. We know the winner.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll come on to that then.
Yeah, you might not have seen the game.
I feel bad for West Ham though, because they're in a bad way, and I don't see Lopetegui lasting the end of the January window.
It's funny, isn't it? Because was you talking about his CV, like how he's got this job and his CV, or was it talking somebody else?
I think we spoke about it last week or the week before.
It was that one. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, that he's got the job and he's just. I didn't understand. Like defensively, very very poor. Midfield, I think Soler was very good. I don't know who else played well other than that. I mean, Mikel Antonio. We all know what we think of him on this podcast and his footballing prowess. I enjoyed his interview with Gary Lineker the other day. I thought he was really honest and quite funny on that. But as a footballer, I think it's coming to the end, and West Ham can't seem to find a striker, which is funny because if you're West Ham and you can get a goal scorer in like Skamaka. Like, I think Fulkrig's injured at the minute, isn't he? But you get a player like that in who can bang in goals. You change your system. You develop your system around the people that can score the goals. But what West Ham have done is they've bought all of these different players, assumed he's Antonio, and just gone, right, yeah, lump the ball in. He'll hold it up, and then he can play it off to you. And they're like, no, I can't do that. Yeah, but that's what you're doing. And if you can't do it, we'll get Antonio to do it. It's just so weird.
Yeah. Very, very bizarre. I think you're right. You've got to tailor it to the guy that's going to get you points.
Yeah.
Like you can have the guys at the back saving points, but you need someone to score those points for you.
Just completely off the boil, though, aren't they? Completely off the boil, West Ham. And I fear, as I do for Wayne, I fear for Julian.
Yeah, I do too. They're just like the whipping boys of the season, aren't they?
Seem to be. Unexpectedly as well. When I saw their summer window, I thought West Ham are going to be in it.
Yeah, we both said, didn't we? We said that they were going to do well. And
we did this a few years ago. I think we said, I think Everton had a big spending spree and Newcastle had a big spending spree. And we went, right, who's going to do the best? And we both went Everton.
Yeah. Just shows us how much knowledge we have of football. Like brainiacs of football right here.
Completely.
But well led on because Everton were against Man United at the weekend.
Do you know what?
I don't know whether it was Everton or whether it was just a local kids football team playing.
Everton were very good for 20-odd minutes.
Yeah, that 20-odd minutes doesn't win you a football game, though, does it? When you have a 90-minute period.
Yeah, no, you lose 4-0, apparently. Man United did all right, actually, didn't they? Like Everton capitulated, but as bad as Everton were, Man United were good.
Mate, Amad Diallo was a game changer for them at the moment. He does not stop running. And that pressure leading that and all that, all the chasing down. I mean, he set up that second goal, didn't he, for Xerxes, by the fact that he chased it, obviously overhit it and lost it a little bit and just kept going. He had that momentum. It was like, I'm just going to go to the next one. And he won it off him. But Everton was so poor and lazy. Every time they lost the ball, they were not chasing back at all. It was dreadful. Absolutely dreadful.
I wonder, I mean, if you'd have said who's going to lose their job first this season, I don't think Cooper would have been my first choice. I think I would have said probably Dyche.
Yeah, but I think he's safe. And the only reason I say this is because their sole aim, I think, this season is to stay up. No matter what, just stay up. They can't afford to change it at this point because they're moving into the new stadium next season.
Yeah, but you want to move into
the Prem. They might get someone new at the end of this season if they stay up and say, okay, look, this is what we want to do. We're in a new stadium. You've got a golden opportunity. And someone, Jose Mourinho, could go in a brand new stadium with brand new owners and basically say, here's the money, do what you want to do.
I don't agree with that. So Sean Dyche, for me, right, defensive style manager, right? He's not all about the attack. He's more a defensive style manager.
Yes, yeah.
They shipped 4 goals against the poorest Man United team I have seen for a long, long time. They shipped 4 goals, right? I know the new manager bounced. They shipped 4 goals, and he's a defensive manager. Defensively, they have been terrible. They've given up goal. They've given up winning positions and lost.
Yeah.
And I just think that it can't continue. If Everton want to be in their fresh new stadium in the Premier League, he has to go. And I'm not one for dismissing people. Like, I don't like it. I don't do it. But in football, sometimes sometimes you need to do it. And I stand by my Tony Mowbray comment because it was right. He left and they got relegated. So have it.
Someone's sick, sack him immediately. But I don't like to dismiss people.
I don't. I'm not one of those people. You can start digging me out here, bro. But in management, in football, this is where I'm at.
Okay. I love the football will and HR will. Very different wills.
Very different. Mate, it's like this morning will and this afternoon will. We are very different people.
I can imagine. After the technical hitches you had prior to us logging onto this. I'm all ready, mate. God. I'm all ready. All right, I've just logged on. 5-minute warning, but I'm just logging in now. Okay, mate. Oh, yeah, it's not working.
Exactly.
So yeah, Everton were really shite, but I'll tell you who also was surprisingly shit at the weekend. Aston Villa. Yeah,
Aston Villa are suffering. They get that hangover from Europe. I think that's it.
But what was Martinez doing? Arguably or supposedly one of the best goal or the best goalie in the world. He just rolled it to past it to Nicholas Jackson and went, have a shot. Then hurt himself in the process.
Yeah, but what a save.
He had to fucking make that save.
He had
to make that save. That could have been me and you on Friday, mate. The way that played out. Could have been us.
Yeah. But
they were poor. Like Ezri
the
Konsa
pass
was
back.
Poor. The defensiveness was just totally shit from start to finish. And Chelsea's pressure, it just caused a lot of that, I think.
I think, as you know, again, as bad as Villa were, I think Chelsea are doing fantastically well. I mean, I tipped them to do really well this season. And that seems to be a bit of a masterstroke by me because Maresca seems to...
Very modest.
Maresca seems to be doing such a good job. And he seems to have got, Nicholas Jackson scoring, which no one really thought that would happen this season. Casado, was a bit of a flop last season. They can't seem to play without him. That Enzo, despite some of his views, very good. But the winner of the goal of the week has got to go to Mr. Cole Palmer. Worst celebration in the entire world. And I felt like he was rubbing it in because he did it. And then he slid on his knees whilst doing it. I was like, you don't need to do it twice, mate. We get the point. It's shit.
Piss off.
But what a goal.
I do agree with you. Fucking superb. Absolutely superb. But I don't want to detract from Nicholas Jackson because I think he had one of the best games I've seen him play. Despite, I know he got obviously that quick goal, but I think it was a neat finish. But Cole Palmer seems to get all the plaudits for everything, and rightly so. He's a very, very good player. But I think they're fucked without Nicholas Jackson there because of the pressure he sort of creates around everyone, and he always gets defenders going towards him, which opens up the space more for everyone else.
Of course, yeah.
Everything seems to work. Maresca's, as you said, he's worked miracles at the moment. He's done very well.
He is doing well, yeah. So they do the pressure. They pressure teams, and yeah, it's very good. It's enjoyable to watch, from a neutral perspective. Level and points with Arsenal, so they're doing well.
They're exactly level on everything. Goals scored, goals conceded. Yeah. And obviously head-to-head was a draw. So literally we're above them because we are Arsenal and they are Chelsea.
Yeah.
That's literally the only difference. Imagine that. End of the season. Woo.
Now, Tottenham, Fulham. I felt Fulham should have won that. We don't need to talk too much about it, but I felt Fulham were probably the better team. But, Ange needs a bit of a change up. But the big game, Liverpool City. It did not disappoint.
It did not disappoint, did it?
I just don't understand what's going on at City.
I don't know, and I can't work out why they are so bad. I appreciate that, yeah, they've got a few injuries and stuff, but they've always been able to deal with that, no problem. It's
But they've
just
got good
it's as though
injuries. But
people don't
look at
want to
their
play.
bench.
No, exactly. They've got a good bench. It's as though I feel like Pep is not invested in it this season. I feel like he got cocky, and I feel like the players feel like they're cocky. Because Foden has done nothing all season whatsoever. Savinho had a good couple of games, has done nothing. Haaland goes missing for 90% of games, which we know he normally does, but he's not burying those chances at the moment to save him from the sort of headlines as such. De Bruyne at the moment is showing that he's past it, which I don't think he is. But he's
Well,
not
he's
playing
not
like a
playing.
player.
Well, he's not playing. Like, I think there's issues with Guardiola and De Bruyne because he's just not playing the games, and he wants to play.
But he's coming back from injury as well, so I suppose we have to keep that in mind to a certain
He's been coming
extent.
back for ages, though. What's
But
going
he's had
on?
a couple of knockbacks, didn't he? He did have a couple of setbacks from what I've sort of read online and whatever. But yeah, I feel like they just haven't got the confidence and the sort of. I mean, Kyle Walker has been awful all season.
He
And
was all right yesterday.
I don't know, he wasn't.
I think he was better. I think he's got better.
He was awful. He
Do you
gave the
reckon?
ball away so many times. He can't chase back unless it's a long race. He hasn't got the acceleration. He's still got the top end speed, but acceleration, he's getting beaten. Yeah, he's just not. He's not the player he was last season by any stretch. I just think they need to have a change of system a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't think they can blame it all on their injuries, all on Rodri going missing. Again, I've said it a couple of times now. As good as shit as City were, Liverpool were absolutely incredible. They dominated that game from start to finish. Defensively, they were excellent. I think they had one slip up, didn't they, where Boyne could have scored. From the set from the back right the way through to the front. I mean, that midfield, I think they had Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and McAllister, who are just seem to just work together so well. And if you take out Szoboszlai and put Elliott in there, it's still absolutely brilliant. And then Mo Salah. I mean, what do you make of some of the comments that Mo Salah's made about his contract? Like, I think he said that will be the last time I play City at Anfield.
Yeah, very clever. Very clever. He is untouchable. He's priceless in Liverpool's eyes. Liverpool, they're 100% they're going to offer him a contract. But if he keeps doing what he's doing, he could sign with anyone in the entire world on any money that guy wants. But I think this is his way of saying, give me what I want. I don't think he wants the money. I think he wants the length of contract. I think they were saying it on Rest is Football the other day as well. And I do think they're right. Like, give Salah a 3-year deal. Yeah, he's 32, but you'd never know he's 32. Look at his pace, his power, his skill, his finishing. He's been so consistent for, God knows, was it 8 years he's been at Liverpool now? 7 years, something like that. He's delivered from day one. Just give him whatever he wants.
Is there an element as well of, as he gets older, I thought he was older than 32, but as he gets older, he can start to develop his game to match his strengths. So if he does drop a yard or two in pace, surely he can move central and still be something that's absolutely dynamic. Drop into, I'm not saying that he can, like, definitely, but like drop into a number 10 type role, similar to what Rooney did, actually. Drop into that sort of 10, drop into that centre midfield and just pick off the passes, I mean, to have a good shot. He's not necessarily always going to be on the wing. So if you think it's a gamble, it's got to be one that's worthwhile, and say, okay, if you lose your pace, then you have to develop yourself into moving more central, so where you don't need that pace so much. I don't know.
No, it's a good shout. It's a good shout. But yeah, if you're Liverpool, you've got to offer him whatever he wants.
I think you can't lose him, Van Dijk and Trent. If Trent's going to go to Real Madrid, as there's sort of strong suspicion that he will, then you've got to keep Van Dijk and you've got to keep Salah. You can't lose those three in the end of one season.
No, you can afford to lose one, I would imagine. And the only one I think they can afford to lose is Trent.
He's so good, though. And he's young.
He is, and he's got more value than the others, I know. But I feel like that's the only one that they could afford to lose. VVD is irreplaceable. Salah is irreplaceable. You can't afford to lose them.
I
Unless
think
you
BVD
change your
will
system.
go. I think Virgil
Really?
will go. I think he'll go. I think this age thing is.
Go where?
I don't know. I don't think he'll stay in England. I think I could see him moving to someone like Barcelona, but I'm not. I'm not too sure. You know, maybe Paris Saint-Germain might pick him up, or he might go to Saudi. But I think he might go, and I think they'll try and keep Trent because he's where the money is, and he's got the most potential in terms of like his age and where he can go and what he can do.
I agree.
But fair play to Arnie Slot, man. Can you imagine coming in and doing that? I think, and I don't know whether I'm living in hope, but I think Liverpool have got a huge monumental crash coming, and that's where Arsenal are going to pick up and win the league.
Jesus. Fucking bold, mate. Fucking bold. I don't think they'll have an almighty crash. They'll have a blip for sure. They'll have 3, 4, 5 games where they'll go, oh my God, we're getting a draw, a random loss and a couple of draws or something like that, and they will drop points. But I think unless they get injuries, I think they're fine. The league's is theirs to lose.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're definitely right. It is theirs to lose, and I could see it. I can see it happening. Pep Guardiola's got a lot to do, and he seems to be sort of putting himself in the headlines with complaining about you getting sacked in the morning. It's after he's got he's put a six fingers up. He said midweek he was scratched his face, and then he started talking about self-harming in like a bit of a derogatory way, and had to come out and apologise.
What was that all about?
What's going on at City?
He is under pressure. He's cracking. He's cracking under pressure, finally.
We've never seen it, have we? We've never seen the City team.
No.
A team like this do it. We've never seen Pep be under pressure. Like, what was that? 7 games now without a win?
7 games, no win. They didn't win a single game in November.
Mental, isn't it?
Crazy. 7 games, 6 losses, 1 draw. And the draw was they were 3-0 up.
0 up. Oh my God.
Up.
That was insane, wasn't it? Who was it? Feyenoord?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just incredible.
Absolutely insane. Do you think this is going to go on much longer?
No. I can't remember. Who's the next game?
Can't remember.
You can't remember. Let's have a little looky here. Manchester City have got Nottingham Forest. So, yeah, I think they'll lose. I think they'll win.
Yeah, do you know what? I've got a feeling it's going to be a draw. Thinking about it right now, I think I've already done our predictions. But yeah, I think thinking about it now, I think they could draw that because Forest have been very good. I know, obviously, we sort of rolled them over a little bit, but I still think they're very good and they up it for big teams generally. Interesting.
Certainly will be. Well, we'll talk about it next week.
Absolutely. Double game week as well.
Do play game.
It's always been
I'll
a
see you next
pleasure.
week.
Cheers, mate.
See ya. Bye.
Thanks, guys.